Simeone Freeman was seen a couple of days ago in district number 13 engaging with market women and residents of the Chicken Factory community, to be precise. And, during the engagement with the people, he said a lot of things. Some of them were very inspiring, and, one of the things that he said really stood out for me because I, strongly disagree with. And what is that? He said that uh, poor people, Liberians should not put poor people into power. Giving power to poor people, you know, they have no experience, they don't know what they are doing with it, and it's always a wrong choice to put poor people in the power, in a position of power. So I resoundingly disagree with that 100%. For the mere fact that number one, Liberia, I can say more than 90% of the population in the country are all poor people, if we are really being completely honest, you know. And I'm talking about financially here, right? Because, you can be mentally rich, but you are financially poor. And we are talking about financially here. We are a poor country. Liberia is a poor country. Majority of the, population in the country are poor people. So if you say that the poor people should not vote for somebody who has, a lot in common with them. Like the poor people voting for somebody who is poor is a wrong decision. Then I don't know what kind of message you are preaching. If I was even a close friend or, a sympathizer at least to Mr. Freeman, I would have literally, definitely advised him not to say anything like that. That is very, very detrimental. But again, you have to understand, this is actually what he feels. This is what he actually thinks. And he believes that, poor people should not be given, power in the country because they have no experience and they will just drive the country down, down the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I disagree with that because just like I said, I rather trust somebody, you know, who have no experience with money or who have never tasted the what is the thing, being rich, who has never tasted being rich ever before, and it's their first time, and they are in the same position as I am. If I am poor, I want somebody to lead me who understands my plight, who understands my problem, who has experience what I've lived throughout my life. If I'm going to vote for somebody just because they are not poor, because they are rich, they don't know what it is like to be poor. Most of these people that are rich don't know what it's like to be poor. A lot of them was born already in wealth. So if I go vote for somebody just because they are rich, one thing I know for a fact is that the more money you get, the more money you want. If we are going to go stand on the line to vote, for somebody based on their financial status, trust me, I'll always, advocate for the people who have no money to go into power. Because if they get into power, God forbid, if they were to embezzle money, a little bit of money will be enough for them because they have no experience with it. They have never had millions of dollars before. But you who have had decades and decades of, playing with money, right? Especially Mr. Freeman, with a $250 watch on his hand. He was talking about it the other day on the radio show, right? If you were to, and I'm not saying that you are a corrupt person, I have no idea about any of your records, and I will never claim to have unless I do. But, if you were to participate in any type of act of embezzlement, you know, 100,000 will not be anything to you. You're already wearing a watch that costs 250,000 United States dollars, and you say you have two of it, right? You are wearing watches, or you have a watch, a collection of watches that is about half a million US dollars. So when somebody of your status, when it comes to money, is ready to really, how do you call it, venture into the act of corruption, trust me, it's not going to be on a small scale. They'll be talking about millions and millions of dollars. So that is one reason. Another reason for me to actually trust poor people in power. The other one is that they are poor just like me. They know exactly what I'm going through. They know what I need because they are just like me. So I disagree with Mr. Freeman on that. We should definitely not consider the wealth of people when we are voting for them. It has nothing to do with anything. You understand? There are rich people that are good, for our leadership choices, and there are poor people that are very very good. I even believe that the poor people are much better to be leaders, better leaders than the rich people. This is my personal belief. But on his behalf, or being honest, he also said some good things. And some of the things he said was that Liberians go to the poll every year and make bad decisions, and then yeah, I mean, after every 6 year, and they go to the poll and make bad decisions, and then spend the next 6 year complaining about their bad decision, and just for the election to come again, and they go back and make another bad decision. And I agree with that completely, 100%. You know, and he said that we should be careful who we vote for. We should listen and observe the people that are selling us dreams, talking to us about all these things that we want to actualize in the society. We should look at them and vote for them based on what we understand their agendas are, and what and and after we have realized and believed that yes, they can actually deliver the promises that they are making, right? And that is 100% true. I stand on that. I support him on that 100%. The only part that I disagree with is the part where he is saying that poor people should not be put into power because they are poor. Poor people cannot lead. They are poor. We keep putting poor people in power. This is why I don't think that is true. All of the people that have been in power in Liberia, I'm talking. Let's forget about before the war. I'm starting from 1980 up until now. The only person that got into power that was somewhat poor was Samuel K. Doe. You know, a military, and he's the only military leader apart from Charles Taylor, who brought a war, that we have ever had. He is the only person that got into power when he was poor. All the other people that followed, though, they were all significantly rich, considered rich before getting into power. So we have been putting rich people into power year in, year out. If you are actually asking for a change, I would definitely say that Liberian people should focus on putting people into power who are not, quote unquote considered rich, but at least they have the ability, they have the solution, they have the heart and mind and soul, for the country. Like they are patriotic, but financial wise, they are nowhere to be found. Like they have even no, they're always, looking for scraps, looking for help and charity to fund their campaigns during election. These are the people that we should really, really pay more attention to, observe them, and look at their agendas and their solutions that they have for our problems, and evaluate whether we should go with them or not, instead of rich people. Like I said, the more rich you get, the more rich you want to get. The more money you get, the more money you want to get. That's how it is. Rich people are the most stingy people in the world. Like they are very, very stingy. This you will see a rich man, real rich man. They don't walk around with jewelries, 100,000, 200,000. You don't see Bill Gates walking around with all these things there on his neck. You don't do that. These are the richest people, and they are the most selfish people because they know the value of money. When they get it, they not like to leave it. So we have to be careful with rich people when putting people into power. We have never actually trusted any, how to call it, poor people before. We hardly trust poor people ever, hardly. So, rich or poor, my thing is when we are putting into power, when we are putting people into power, let's evaluate them, let's look at them, let's ask them questions, and let's listen to their solutions. Let's just not go vote for somebody because we're from the same tribe, or because we are from the same religion, or because we are coming from the same county. We shouldn't do that. That's all I would say. Other than that, I believe a rich person can make a good leader, and also a poor person can definitely make a good, a rich leader. And my advice to Mr. Honorable Simeon Freeman, please, you are for your own good, for your own sake, don't speak against poor people. You do that, you will hurt yourself long before the election. Liberia is filled with also poor people. A lot of people in Liberia, we are poor. So if you're saying that we shouldn't be putting poor people into power, that is a big, big problem. You are causing yourself problem. The election is still far. Refrain from saying things like that. I'm telling you.
Like, follow and subscribe.